What's going on, guys? My name is Vincent, and welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. Yes, sir. We are live. So we are doing our first official tier list for Season 4, the first ever half anniversary here for Dragon Ball Genshin Squadra. I wiped the tier list clean. It is just me today. So again, a little bit to know before we go in there. Of course, the per usual, we have Zeno tier. This is the tier of like, you see these characters on the team. If you don't have them, you know you're in for an uphill battle, or you might as well just quit the game, put the controllers down, put the mouse and keyboard away. It's going to be a long one. Needs nerfs like yesterday. God of Destruction tier. These are the characters that if the devs were to come out and do another kind of like balance patch, spoiler, we're going to talk about that in a second, we're literally going to go immediately into the Xenos here. Like, they're that good already, whether they were nerfed to get to that category or they were buffed to get close to that category. Z Warrior tier, I want to specify, this is fine in any situation. This is like, I'm talking, you pick them, you're not mad that they're on the team. Like, it is not a throwaway pick. These are going to be the ones that you want on the team more than anything. Again, bread and butter staples. Situational niche, the Earthling tier. These are the characters that like you would have to be extremely good and like a true main of that character for them to be relevant, or they are stuck to a specific role. Spoiler, we got an attacker and a tech character that I'm going to talk about that truly belong in that category given their adjustments, and we'll talk about that later. Yamcha, these are the bottom of the barrel. You see any of these characters on your team, you're throwing, just point blank period, or if you see it on the enemy team, you know this is free eats. Okay, the final thing I want to talk about before we go into this tier list is that when I make these tier lists, I am not doing this for the like the S-rank players, the upper echelons. Like, this is solely and specifically for individuals that are new to the game and just wanted to pick it up, or if they are coming to the game for the first time, they want to know like, oh, like, is this character viable, yes or no, and they can kind of like designate based off of this list if it's right for them, because I will talk a little bit about their play styles, not too in depth, because again, I am mainly a DPS player, so I have like more to say on certain DPS than others, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Again, also, it is my opinion, guys. If you don't agree with this tier list, who cares? You know, make your own. You are entitled to have your own opinion just the same way that I am entitled to have mine. So yeah, it is more so for the super casual players. I am not catering this towards the upper echelons, right? Because again, like prime example, Hit could arguably be in like say Zeno tier, and then you know, in the hands of a novice player, like he's like, oh, this is where he belongs. You know what I mean? So again, when I put them in these categories, like I'm going to be placing them based off of how easy they are to play and pick up, how like you could call the term brain dead it is to just pick a character to just, again, you're just zombieing, and then like you're gonna get like 25 odd kills or 25 odd assists or instant shred bosses. Like, I look for things like that. That's what this is going to be based off of. Okay, so for starters, I'm going to put these three in the, just make it just easier for myself and everyone here, 1, 2, and 3. So off rip, we have 3 DPS. These 3, Kefla, Daima Goku, or Daimaku, and Super Oob. Dude, these characters are so stupid. It's not even that they're just broken. Like, again, the fact that even with the removal of the double vanish, Kefla is able to shred not just bosses, but again, player healths, tank healths. If she has snowball, like again, overpowered beyond belief with speed boost to boot. Same thing with Daima. These two characters have like such insane mobility. Daima through the roof. I don't know what dev was looking at this and like, you know what Daima needs? He already does insane amounts of damage. We're going to give him insane survivability and insane movement. Like no, bro. Like no. You pick up these two, and you know that it's going to be an uphill battle if you don't have a counter for them. Oob, I am putting Oob up here because his buffs treated him extremely well. Being that his Cyclone energy has increased, he has a not like Kefla where like the vanish, but again he has already with his skill 3 built-in mobility, which is absolutely absurd. His skill 2 being able to increase firepower and then speed, and of course zero obstruction, so they cannot be stunned by the likes of the CC meta that we're in. A great off meta pick, but used to be an off meta pick, and then now just completely viable across the board. Not to mention that all of their ults kind of like shred, especially these two, shred and snipe boss and characters left, right, center. Ooh, okay, so Bardock, I'm gonna put him here, and Vegeta, I'm gonna go here. Okay, so this is unique. So in my previous tier list, we definitely had me and my friends, we had him in Zeno tier. I am personally going to put him in the God of Destruction tier, and here's why. I'm not ignoring Bardock. I will touch him in a second. Not much really to say about Bardock, so which is why I'm saving him for last. But Vegeta, on the other hand, he has, I don't want like to say the word fallen off is very disrespectful to both the character and to the mains of him. But again, it is it used to be these two were interchangeable for being number one, but now with Vegeta's adjustments for the like not for the better, and then Bardock getting buffed, the gap just, I mean, like if y'all are gonna know this example, if you've seen My Hero Academia, it's like All Might to Endeavor. It's like it's there, and he can like build a bridge to close that gap, but like there will always be a gap until he gets nerfed. With that being the case, again, I love the fact that he has a shield. I love that he has a kick, but nothing will beat a Rildo pull-in that will negate his kick. To negate his wall, with a Rildo on top of that. So even if he gets through my shield with his wall, because it causes zero obstruction, to then immediately go into a Rildo, so you're getting CC'd to some extent, and then the triple fist of doom. Yeah, absolutely absurd. And then of course his Riot Javelin super attack, being able to kind of like full send just a random stranger. Yeah, bro, it's ridiculous. This dude is a menace to society. Ooh. I like these pairings. I'm gonna go with Gohan first. I am gonna put him here. I don't think that Gohan, to me personally, is broken. He recently received a, you could say, like, some people call it a nerf, some people call it an adjustment, but what I think happened is now if you are using Gohan, you actually have to know what you're doing. You can't just mindlessly point click and instant, CC chain of doom like Ulton in his prime used to do. Now it takes a little bit more skill, a little bit more accuracy. You got to be more smart with your util. I think he can still be a menace, but I think that with his util, the way that it is currently, I think he's gotten demoted to God of Destruction tier. Again, still a great solid pick if you take the time to learn the character, but I don't think he's as broken as he used to be. I can't believe I'm saying this. If you have played this game in this season, then you know that this guy has become a menace to society. You could argue God of Destruction tier, like I'm talking something like this. But I personally am going to put him here. Like, dude, the health regen, especially on a skill 2 super start, is absolutely bonkers. Like, this character has seen such a resurgence of life. It is ridiculous that coupled with like if you go in like a snowball or something like that, like it is completely bonkers what this character is capable of. Insane damage, insane sustain, team sustain. So if you play Protect the President with Boo, like you will be rewarded for your generosity. Like that is like absolutely absurd. He has become such a, I don't know what they were thinking with like making him as good as he was, or he is. That is just bonkers. Like Boo, easy pick, easy to use. Again, especially if you just did your skill too. If you know how to use your other skills with Boo, you're just gonna like transcend the character through and through. But if you just know how to point, click, and heal, that's all you need. Super Vegito. I'm gonna go with God of Destruction tier. The reason why, just what the kit offers, man. Automatic transformation at level 1, like when you spawn in, if you wanted to. Don't know why you would, but the fact that you can literally go into this game, any game really, go in and immediately transform is absolutely absurd. Like this is, I love what they did with this character. I think that like the fact that they introduced that mechanic is so nice, and it opens up the potential for future things like that. Being able to transform frame one, not resorting it into a meter, like, or if it's like a split unit. I think that could be a cool design, right? You release two characters as one, right? You can choose Vegeta or Goku, and you have to build up a meter. You know, each has a different skill set, and then they fuse into Vegito once the meter is full, because you can do the Patara, and then you know, like, or it could be like a Gamma 1, Gamma 2 scenario, right? With Goku and Vegeta, they each have like a move that's titled to a skill. Skill 3 could be like whatever that they would like combo or some, you know, something. And then their you could be their ultimate once they get to level 7, they get like a Dragon Fist ultimate, they get it at level 7, and that's the Patara fusion, and then it's this like absolutely bonkers character. So now you're kind of combining the cell mechanic of transformation with the or not cell mechanic, I'm sorry, the SSJ3 Goku Dragon Fist mechanic into, but that's like not here. That's I'm spewing, but the possibilities are endless, and that started with the release of this character, giving an automatic transformation. You're going in as Vegito, and again, he has it all. He can close in the gaps. He has so he has mobility. He has an AOE slash insane combo potential, and of course an AOE finger shot ability that again is great for clearing farm and revealing enemies. It's just awesome. And then he's the only character as of this recording that can get his ultimate like 5 times in a row. Every time he gets it, if you have a Vegeta on your team that knows how to combo correctly, you can get it up to 5 times, and that is stupid. But oh man, I don't think it's broken though, because again, he can get countered. You know, whether it's the CC stun of Doom, keeping like true range from him, you know, baiting out his abilities and stuff like that. So like again, close but not broken in my opinion. Speaking of, I'm gonna put Gammas in the same category. This is the order for that as well. I'm trying to order these as well. Yeah, I'd put it like this. I love the Gammas. The Gammas, Gamma 1 and 2, our first iteration of Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which was awesome. On release, by the way. Their ult does not have the stun anymore. When that was the case, he was definitely here. They were stupid. They can still shred boss up the yin yang, and the reason why is because the trade-off was their ult combos them together. They do, pardon me, even more damage with their skills when they are in ult form, so that's chef's kiss. Then on top of that, you have their movement speed up, and they can just shred boss. It is so nasty. They get more overshield with their skill 2. Their skill 1 does insane amounts more damage when they are in ult form. So whether it is team fights or for boss shredding, like, this character is the truth. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. 10 out of 10. Very good pickup, but of course still not broken because he can get countered due to range. Oh, let's talk about it. Cooler and Khalifa. I've always ranked them both together because that still remains true to this day. I know a lot of haters are going to be like, that's BS. No, it's true. These two from season 1 and season 0 and season 1, these two were so interchangeable. The race was so incredibly close. If you picked either of them, you knew that you were in for a tough fight. The reason why is simple. Retaliation, again, an ability that when timed correctly, you can actually, I would put this because like the issue is timing. You have to time it correctly using the skill as you get hit to trigger retaliation mode, whether it's the ult, etc., to get the bonus effects and damage. Versus Khalifa, where Wrath is such a powerful ability, and especially with her buff with skill 3 getting wider, and then of course allowing her to have movement speed up to herself and movement speed down to the enemy. I think that kind of gives her a slight edge over Cooler, even with his increased DOT. Wrath is such a powerful ability where if you have a beam character or something that's not AoE, that you can draw that attention to you instead for a certain period of time. I think that is such an underutilized ability. If they had a helper that did that as well, that would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, it's but like not like with the CC stun, like they just like when you're in the radius of the helper, you are triggered by Wrath, so you're getting two like you're getting drawn, kind of like, say it's I'm just gonna use like some random name. So they like if it's like a Yamcha, right? Yamcha's the Wrath guy. Yamcha's like, doing the little silly pose or whatever, and like I'm J3 Goku because I'm just staring at my screen. He just uses his Kamehameha and like turns him around, and like the Kamehameha is towards an NPC or the Yamcha in this case. I think that would be like such. Bro, though, that would bring her stock value up because, again, you'd be running into the same issue with Bardock, where it's CC ability coupled with, oh, I have Rildo right in the back pocket. It's absolutely absurd. That would also increase his stock value too, but that's conversation for another time. J3 Goku, speaking of, before the buffs, he was here. I think he is. I'll do this. I think he is now Z Warrior. I was struggling where to put him in Z Warrior. The damage being increased to what it is. Absolutely love it. I think it's a great kind of like. It was a much needed change. I'm not even gonna hold you, because his damage was doo-doo, and the fact that we were at a period of time in the meta where if you chose J3 Goku, you were trolling. That's ridiculous. But now we are finally in a place where J3 Goku is reliable. I think that's great. Dragon Fist still hits like a truck. The instant transmission every 10 seconds on an enemy, that is absolutely absurd, and it's just too valuable to not put respect on it. It's fine in any situation now, for sure. Broly, I'm gonna put the bottom of fine in any situation or Z Warrior tier, and here's why. The damage that Broly does is so undeniable. The only reason why he's even there, so let me start off by saying this. Broly is a good character. He is not weak. He hits like an absolute truck. The no obstruction is beautiful. Chef's kiss. Great in team fights. Great for boss. He gives you everything. The problem is the meta that we're currently in. A lot of the characters that are being released have CC or pull in. Vegeta that's coming out next week is also going to be, I believe next week, is all pull in characters. So him getting out, unless he uses his skill 2, which again, skill 2 is supposed to close the gap. You're not supposed to use it as a tool to leave. You can if you want to, but if you're always using your skill 2 to leave a fight, to me, you're now more of a liability than you are an ally or asset in that situation. So because of the ranged meta that we're in, I'm gonna knock Broly to find any situation. Like, he's not a throw pick, but I think that the meta is truly against him in this category, unfortunately. Zamasu. I'd say finding a situation like he has one of the best laning phases when he is in Superstar, and then just laning phases in general. Like, as long as you know the reason why you could argue even situational niche. The reason why I'm saying that is simple. You need to rely on his passive. If you are not building up his passive, or you don't know how to build up his passive, you will die more times than you are alive. That's why there are many Zamasus that are not top tier, and there are only a select few that are truly masters of the Zero Mortal Plan master himself in Zamasu. I think he's still great. The damage he does, the sustain he has, absolutely beautiful. But at the end of the day, if you don't know how to use him, you will get caught, but still not a throwaway pick. Gohan, kind of like the same deal. He's not this anymore with his ability that has energy defense down. I think just from his passive alone, the friendship boost, which basically if you're just next to Gohan, you do more damage. So good. And then of course with his skill 2 headbutt, so you got a CC, you got energy defense up for teammates and allies, plus friendship boost. It's a no-brainer. I'm going to skip straight to hit because, listen, I know this is where like people are going to come out my throat. Here's the thing about hit. Yes, he does take skill. However, this is, and then yes, he did get nerfed to where his skill 2, you can't like basically infinite CC chain of doom anymore with hit. And that's fine, but when we're looking at it holistically, all you have to do, you could be, if you're the we'll say scapegoat of your team, you're like, yo, you need to pick hit because I'm Daima or I'm Kefla and I'm going to be securing boss. All you have to do is sit there and look pretty, get to level 5, and then once you get to level 5, sit there, look pretty, and all you have to do is just stay alive long enough to get into pit, ult, boss, and then boom, get out. And if that's all you do, your team should secure boss 9 times out of 10 if your teammates know what they're doing. And that to me is dumb because now there are a lot more hits than there should be, and a lot of them aren't good. They're only picking hit because for some reason a dev looked at hit and it's like, you know what, we don't even need to nerf him. We need to give him a buff, actually. We're going to make him so where his ult does energy defense down on top of blinding everyone on site. Bro, what? So they gave him what made Gohan a staple pick, especially for Super Saiyan Goku. And they gave it to Hit, who now assists in a already overtuned Daima, an Oob, a Kefla. Like, it's absolutely absurd. Very easy pick. So for those that are like, but Hit takes skill, his ult doesn't. His ult doesn't. I'm not talking about his combo potential. I'm talking about what he brings to the table. And if you have a scapegoat rat that only suies for tower, and you go straight to boss pit when your ult is ready, like that to me, yeah, that needs a nerf yesterday. If they can take it away from Gohan, they can take it away from Hit. That's all I'm saying. Vegeta. Okay. Honestly, I'll go here. I think Vegeta has seen such an improvement. He used to be niche, but dude, his buff, like they did him so right. Like I appreciate like his sustain, his survivability, his damage is so much better. Farm has always been great, but like it's just so much easier and flows so much better with him. It's they did right. There's not much to say about Vegeta. He's just a solid pick all around, and the buff only made him better. Great first tank, by the way. My boy Goku. Honestly, actually, dude, going green, red, green with this guy or green, red, blue, like his survivability is so good. Like the damage, like they gave him buffs because they were nerfing him to the ground too much. His buffs made him feel so much more smooth. Yeah, his boss shredding days are probably numbered, but if you can learn the timing of the spirit bomb, you just can't launch it at the last minute now. You'll have to probably launch it preemptively and bank on either your team shredding it fast or the enemy team helping shred fast before like a Daimao goes off. And then once that bomb drops, boom, explosion. I think the boss damage reduction, so depending on how many bosses you have, it can hurt you. But, you know, the first two bosses alone should be rather easy for you to get with Goku. Solid pick. Again, MC for a reason. They love their Gokus. Deborah is actually not a throwaway pick. I don't think he's anywhere near this, but I'd say here. I think Deborah has come a long way. Like that petrification gauge meter, like filling so fast and being one of the only hard counters to Bardock is that needs you need to put some respect. Like it's absolutely crazy. In team fights, he's awesome. Again, what kills him, of course, actually, yeah. What kills him is the late game drop off. Everyone in this game is so much better than Deborah once they are built up late in the game. But early to mid game, Deborah is just unmatched and so valuable. But yeah, he's so easy to cook once you are in the late game. But yeah, no, great for team fights. Just again, just be wary of that late game phase. Oh, Trunks got a much needed buff. I'd argue. This is interchangeable, bro. I think I'm gonna put him here next to his dad. Trunks is still squishy, but the health buffs made him feel so much more smooth. I've seen a lot more Trunks gameplay. The dude is the truth. He is an assassin for a reason. If you get somebody that knows what they're doing with Trunks and knowing how to survive and snipe and all that jazz, like homie is a menace to society. This guy, I really want to learn this character actually. And now that he's in a better spot where it's like he's no longer a throw pick, where it's like you actually should be afraid of somebody that knows how to use Trunks, that's awesome. Snowball Trunks. Trunks mains, rise up. Today's your time. Krillin. I think the nerfs hurt him. The nerfs on damage, the nerfs on the blindness, so you can't, like, most of the skills don't blind anymore, so it's very easy to kind of get in and out and destroy his util, but that doesn't mean that he can't hurt you like and like topple you like a truck, bro. Again, Snowball Krillin is still underrated in my opinion, and he can defend very, very greatly. Again, you just got to be careful because, again, he did get nerfed. So, again, he's just not at the top of the mountain that he once was in. But Solar Flare is still a viable skill that blinds the enemy so that way you can kind of like take control and turn the tides of battle. So, again, that is something to be very mindful of when you are using him. Okay? So, let's keep this going. Ooh. I'm gonna put these two together. Frieza and where are you? Bojack. So the thing with Frieza and Bojack, okay, these two guys have kind of, I don't want to say fallen off, but man, Buff Bojack was a menace to society. The dude was shredding left, right, center, won many tournaments that way, by the way. But realistically, while he is good on offense, he just has so much more value on defense, so it can allow your tanks and techs to have breathing room to go and get the tower. And he doesn't have to be like on the front lines either. Same thing with Frieza. Frieza setup allows you to not shred bosses anymore because, again, of the whole damage reduction on the boss and the increased timer of when they're destroyed, which makes them so viable for defense instead, while the other team is out doing what they need to do while you are holding down the fort. These guys are really good for what they offer, but then again, you got to be very selective. They take a certain player to use, and they take a certain play style where they're just better fit, which in this case is defense. So if you are not a defensive juggernaut, or you are not a defensive specialist, it's not that you can't be offensive, but you will get caught more on offense than you would defense. 17, situational niche. The reason for this, actually, I would argue that. The reason why I say situational niche is because it does take a certain type of player, okay? The reason why is because, like I said, unless you know of the Daima strat and you're using for movement speed, you know how his passive works, you are going to get caught so many times as Android 17. He is not a rookie, easy to use character. You are going to be using your double one, your double two, your double three more than you should. You're going to throw away your ult if you don't know how it works, what it blocks, etc. Like, you have to study this character and become a true master of this character to see the true value. Because if you did, then he would either be here or even low here. But for the average bear, we're going to go with situational niche. Oh, my girl. I have to put her situational niche. Yeah, I'm going to put her here. Actually, I'm gonna have to put her here. The reason why is just because, like, listen, she hits like a tank, bro. But the problem is that not everybody knows how to use her. You cannot just pick her up and be like, oh, Hulk smash. Like, this isn't Marvel Rivals. You will get caught with her. Because, again, she is a character that you want to play from range like Bojack. So if you close in the gap with those characters, you are going to get absolutely shredded if you are any of these. Or Frieza. Like, but when you are on the offense, if you know how to play them, oh, the snowball effect is so real, bro. But again, it takes a certain type of player. Not everyone is fit and cut out for that. Not from the same cloth anyways. Okay, let me put this in order of the release. Okay. I want to get the Yamcha chair out of the way, bro. Okay. I'm going to talk about these guys, then I'm going to get to these three, because these three I won't really have much to talk about, but... these two I won't have a lot to talk about anyways. Actually, let me just do this. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Actually, let me get this fast. Okay. So Android 18 buffed to the point where, again, her skills hit, like, dude, if you get hit by any of her skills, like, your health shreds so fast. Her only weakness also is the fact that, again, you have to be up close and personal for her skills to work on you. So if you choose a character that plays distance or has mobility to get out of a fight with 18, you can cook her. Like, she is not invincible. You actually can turn the tides rather fairly quickly on 18, but if you find yourself in the infinite Tsukiyomi of like repeated combos of 18, because again, her skill and her ultimate especially is tied behind the more she uses them, the faster the cooldown is, so she can get her ult rather fast. And then when you get hit with that ult, it's lights out. But yeah, range characters are her ultimate counter. And again, we're in a long range meta, so therefore, unfortunately, very situational niche. It takes a certain kind of character or certain kind of player. Piccolo, the main thing, again, especially with the boss damage reduction going all the way up, like the special beam cannon kind of like loses value. That, and there's so many characters that kind of like close in the gap on Piccolo, especially like a Goku just teleports and then you're dead. A hit can just go ahead and like just blind you, stun you, CC chain you. Like once a Gohan, a Bardock, a Cell, a like any character that has like stun, CC, and stuff like that, like Piccolo just gets eviscerated. So again, it takes a certain kind of player. The Piccolo mains kind of have went into hiding right now. I've only seen like one Piccolo, and it was in low ranks because at the start of the season. None in high rank, and that's kind of sad because this dude used to be like the boss shredding king, along with Goku. It was either one of those two, and if he had both, oh geez. But now, like the Avatar, gone when the world needed him most. Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace. Alrighty, let's get on to the Yamcha tier. Y'all, this is gonna be very quick, easy, and succinct. Topo is the worst character in the game. Like, it did not matter that they changed the skill 3 to being able to block the stuns of Doom, which made that ability completely useless. Like, nah, it's so bad. So bad. He gets shredded. There are so many people that can stay far away from him, and all you have to do is just not touch him while he's in his skill 3, and then again, the ability is still not viable, and he just gets absolutely eviscerated. He's mainly used for bosses, but there are just so many better boss shredders. In my personal opinion, Topo needs a massive buff. Otherwise, he's just going to be kind of like that character that was released. I don't want to play you anymore, like, you know, for Woody and Andy. Gotenks kind of like the same thing. So many better tech characters. Like, he has that cool factor to him, so like he's a fun character. If he were fun, like if you're talking about like just playing for vibes, like he's up here. But tournament setting, pro setting, just climbing ladder, Gotenks is not it. Like the skill 1, so easy to dodge. The donut is like it's viable, but then like it only does so much. And then the ghosts are like his best ability, arguably, personally, in my opinion, along with his donut. But that's not enough to make sure like characters are like shredded and secured. Like, you can get away with some stuff with Gotenks for sure, but then again, you would have to be like here in this category. It's unfortunate. These two tanks, man. Baby, I've said this before, I'll say it again. He's so snowball dependent and lane partner dependent. If your teammates are getting their cheeks clapped, they are not going to benefit Baby at all. Baby thrives off of good teammates. It's very hard for a Baby to carry a whole game. But if his team is even remotely decent, Baby can cook. But then again, because it's so team reliant, that's not fair on the player that could be extremely good with them. You know, it's just not fair. And then lastly, Cell. Perfect Cell, no complaints. The damage is absurd. He can secure balls. He can do everything, but that's the problem. It's when he transforms, and his laning phase to get to Perfect Cell is so freaking bad, bro. It is atrocious. I would not want, if I see a Cell on my team, I know, or on the enemy team, I know I am cooking good, and I'm going to level up extremely fast, and I can take advantage of that. But once he's Perfect Cell, I can get away with it a lot less, if that at all, because all it takes is one good Cell, and you are cooked. But for the average Joe, like, you can get smacked as a first form Cell. But once you're perfect, it's great. I think they just need to... All I think they need to do is just lower the time, like the meter. Make it faster to where he can transform from skill 1, and you're good to go. Like, that would be perfect. Pun intended. And lastly, we have the newest unit, the first of the half Annie units. So we have Super Saiyan God Goku, Super Saiyan God Vegeta, and Majin Buu Pure. People are like, pure? What does that mean? It's pure evil. Pure evil. Super Saiyan God Goku. Go there. I think he is better than Vegeta because, again, I can shoot through his shield, so it makes that shield obsolete. No, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go up the top because while he doesn't have like the mobility, like and the close-in potential that like Vegito has, he does. No, actually, look. Yeah, I'm gonna do this because Vegito can like, yeah. Whatever. Anyways, I'm going to go with this. The reason why is because God Goku can literally shred and has unlimited ammo, but the problem is that you have to play on his passive. You have to fill the meter all the way to full to get the most benefit out of the DOT and out of skill 2 with Dragon Enhance to be able to completely eviscerate any and all people. I'm talking you can shred tanks, techs, and DPS all alike, especially bosses. You can do it all. And his ultimate being able to snipe from anywhere. Again, very hard to secure boss, especially with the boss flip meta that we're in currently with these two running amok and this guy. But being able to still snipe all their health, like regular player health, like that is too good to pass up. And I think that he is a very good released unit. He automatically he's in the God of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God state. I want to keep saying Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. He's already in the Super Saiyan God state, which I think is absolutely incredible. And I think that because of that, it's just, I think the anniversary choices were good for characters. I kind of wish it was like the Broly movie theme. Could have gone Super Saiyan God Goku, Super Saiyan God Vegeta, and then Broly. But then I think you would have to either make him like a tank. I'd be curious to see what they do because technically Super and DPS are different. So I wonder if they're going to make him a DPS because he's technically a Broly character. We'll have to see. But yeah, I think overall, like, I'm super happy with his release. Some people don't like him. Again, if you're not a ranged person, like, it's going to be extremely hard for you to truly appreciate what the character has to offer. But, like, dude, he is so fun. I absolutely love what he does. I've loved when I've played him. I love when I've played against him. Like, it's just a fun character. I don't think that he's, like, completely broken. Obviously, again, it's like, oh, it's infinite ammo. I'm like, okay, yeah, all you have to do is just back up, don't get hit. You know, play smart. If you're like taking it to the face, of course it's going to feel overpowered, like any ability would, right? But at the end of the day, it's still, I think it's a great character. I don't think he's broken because, again, like I said, he doesn't really have mobility. He can move while he's attacking, but he doesn't have the mobility that other characters, these three, have, which they're arguably better. I think when those three are nerfed, we could see a flip for this guy to be in this category, but I think he's fine where he is. He's not broken. Awfully close, though. Very close. But that's it, guys. That is my tier list. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Who would you change from any of this tier list? Who do you think is the most broken character in the game? Who do you think is the dead worst in the game? And then, of course, with Vegeta coming out soon, you guys will be able to see this gameplay. I am working on a certain video. Yes, I did unlock him. I actually was able to get to S rank for the first time in this season, and that's actually my first S rank out of all three roles. Shocker. Just using him, if that goes to show you. I just like his play style, but stay tuned for that. My name is Susan, guys. Take care of yourselves. Keep on being awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.